The city of Atlanta hums with vibrant energy that never truly sleeps. But on the night of July 27, 2021, that energy was pierced by a chilling silence. Just after midnight, in one of the city's most beloved green spaces, a routine act of love and care took a terrifying turn. A woman and her dog, stepping out for a late-night stroll, vanished into the shadows of Piedmont Park. Today we look into the case of Katie Janness and her dog Bowie. The crime, the investigation, and the chilling story full of theories and questions that are still trying to be answered. Welcome to the Friday Night Campfire Stories. My name is Rob and I will be your host for this evening. You are watching my weekly true crime series, Far From Fiction. If dark and spooky and unnerving stories are your thing, you have found the right place. Consider hitting that subscribe button now for more daily content. Also, my new book, The Hollow Season, is out now on Amazon. It's a horror anthology book and it is perfect for the spooky season. Pick up your copy now with the link in the bio. Tonight, we dive into a case that is dark and disturbing. What happened to Katie Janness and her dog Bowie? Tonight, we'll peel back the layers of the case that has haunted a community for years. We'll examine the shocking timeline, the brutal details of the crime scene, and the frustrating roadblocks in the investigation. And in the end, we'll remember the two lives that were cut short. A woman known for her light, and her loyal dog who was always by her side. Let's remember that the scariest stories happen to people just like you and me, because the scariest stories are always far from fiction. Katherine Katie Janness was much more than a victim. At 40 years old, she was a true part of the fabric of Midtown Atlanta. To her friends, she was simply Katie, a talented musician and a warm, welcoming presence behind the bar where she worked. She was a creative soul, a lover of animals, and a deeply compassionate person. She shared a life with her partner, Emma Clark, in their Midtown apartment. A life filled with music and a shared love for their 3-year-old dog, Bowie. Bowie was a pit-type dog, full of personality and energy. He was more than a pet. He was family. He was a regular at Piedmont Park, a place where he and Katie frequented. A place of joy and freedom where he could run and play. Friends and family described Katie as a force of nature, a person whose laugh could fill the room and whose kindness made everyone feel seen. She was an advocate for social justice, a testament to her belief in doing what was right. The bond between Katie and Bowie was unbreakable, a silent promise of companionship that took them on countless walks, including the one that they would take on the night of July 27th. The evening of July 27, 2021 was a typical one. Katie was home with Emma. As the night wore on, Katie decided to take Bowie out for a quick late-night walk, a routine Emma would later say was a normal part of their lives. At approximately 12:09 on July 28th, a security camera in Midtown Atlanta captured a still image that would still become a haunting snapshot of the last moments of normalcy. It shows Katie and Bowie in a crosswalk, just minutes away from the entrance of Piedmont Park. It was the last known image of them alive, walking together under the city lights. Police have established a narrow window for this crime, happening sometime between 12:20 a.m. and 1 a.m. At this time, Katie and Bowie were in or near the 10th Street and Charles Allen Drive entrance of the park. The details of what happened next are absolutely horrifying. When Katie didn't return, Emma began to worry. She used her phone tracking app, a modern convenience that would soon lead them to a devastating discovery. The app showed Katie's phone was still in the park. Emma made her way to the location, and in the early morning hours of July 28th, she made a call that no one should ever have to make.
Atlanta 911, operator 7959. What's the address to your emergency?
Sir, I'm at the entrance of Piedmont Park. I just was searching for my girlfriend's phone because I couldn't find her. She's dead. She's here at Piedmont Park. Please help.
You said somebody's dead at Piedmont Park?
Yes, sir. Please send help. Please.
All right, yes, ma'am. I'm going to send help to you.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
All right, can I get your name? Get a callback number? All right. Where's she at in the park?
She was like near the entrance, like, I don't know how to explain it to me. Did you just see that? That's my girlfriend. What? Yeah.
Alright, hold.
Please, oh my god, dude, she's like, she's dead, like, it's so.
Alright, I'm about to call Grady, okay?
Police arrived to find both Katie and Bowie deceased. Homicide investigators were called to the scene, and a peaceful park became the focal point of a brutal and baffling crime. The crime was a harrowing sight. Law enforcement and media outlets have described it as one of the most brutal that they have ever seen. The details of the autopsy, while not fully released to the public, paint a gruesome picture. News reports citing official sources state that Katie suffered dozens of stab wounds. Some outlets citing more than 40, others over 50. The attack was described as extremely aggressive and personal. Her dog Bowie was also stabbed, a heartbreaking detail that suggests that he may have tried to protect her. This level of violence immediately suggested a personal motive to some, but police have never publicly confirmed that. What they have focused on is a search for DNA and other forensic evidence left behind by the killer. Investigators have promised that they are continuing to submit and resubmit items for testing, hoping that advancements in technology will one day provide a breakthrough that they need. Adding to the frustration of the investigation was the issue of surveillance. While there are cameras in and around Piedmont Park, police confirmed that some of its park surveillance equipment was outdated and not functioning that night. This left a critical blind spot, a period of time during which the attack occurred without any evidence. Investigators had to rely on canvassing nearby businesses and homes for any additional footage, a painstaking and often fruitless process. To this day, the only public image of Katie and Bowie from that night is the single still from the crosswalk. The case has never gone cold. The Atlanta Police Department, with the help of the community, have made repeated public appeals for information, raising the award for actionable tips to an incredible $25,000. They continue to urge anyone, no matter how insignificant they think the information might be, to come forward. With a lack of a clear suspect or motive, the public has been left to grapple with a series of unsettling questions. This has given a rise to a handful of prominent theories and community speculation. It's crucial to remember that these are not confirmed facts, but rather attempts to make sense of the senseless. One of the most debated questions is whether this is a random attack or a targeted one. The sheer brutality of the stabbings has led many people to believe that the killer had a personal vendetta against Katie. Some speculate it was someone she knew, a partner, or an acquaintance driven by extreme rage. However, there has been no public evidence to support this. Others argue that the accessibility of the park and the late hours could mean it was a random encounter with a violent predator. Another theory that's often discussed in online true crime communities is that the attack could be linked to another potential serial offender. The question has been raised about whether there had been similar unsolved knife attacks in Atlanta or the surrounding areas around this time, but the Atlanta Police Department has not publicly linked Katie's murder to any other case. Finally, there's the park vulnerability theory. This is less about who the killer is and more about the circumstances that allowed the crime to happen. Many people in the community have pointed to the failing camera systems, the lack of lighting in certain areas, and the inadequate after-hour patrols as a contributing factor. The tragedy of Katie and Bowie's murder have become a catalyst for renewed calls for better park safety infrastructure, including more cameras and fixing the ones that don't work, and increased patrol. These theories, while unconfirmed, reflect a collective struggle to understand a crime with no easy answers. The absence of a suspect and a clear motive leaves a void that human mind tries to fill naturally. As the years have passed, the pain of this unsolved crime has not faded. The Atlanta Police Department has consistently maintained that this case is an open and active investigation and not a cold one. They continue to appeal to the public for help, using every anniversary of the crime as an opportunity to remind the public that a monster is still out there. The community has responded with unwavering support. Friends, family, and strangers have organized memorials and fundraisers to keep Katie and Bowie's memory alive and to support those who love them the most. In Piedmont Park, a bench now stands as a quiet tribute to the lives lost. It's a place where people can sit, remember, and reflect on the questions that remain. The murder of Katie and her dog Bowie is a stark reminder of the fragile line between safety and vulnerability. It has forced a community to look at beloved public spaces with new eyes, demanding better security and accountability. The lack of closure has left a deep scar on Atlanta, a constant hum of unease that whispers, "Who did this?" Before we end, we must take a moment to remember who Katie was, and the life she shared with her best friend Bowie. She was not just a headline, she was a real person, whose absence is still felt every day by those who loved her. She was one with a laugh that made you smile, the friend that always listened, the musician whose voice could calm a room. And Bowie, her loyal companion, was a joyful, protective soul. He was a constant source of comfort and happiness for Katie and Emma. The fact that he was with her until the very end speaks volumes about the deep love between the person and their dog. He was her guardian, and he was a victim of this terrible crime just as she was. Their story is a testament to a bond of love, friendship, and loyalty that define us. The world is a little quieter without Katie's music, and a little less joyful without Bowie's happy trot through the park. But their memory lives on, in the hearts of their family, their friends, and the city that refuses to forget. If you were in the Midtown area on the night of July 27th to 28th, 2021, and you saw anything, no matter how small or insignificant it seems, please contact authorities. Your piece of information could be the key to solving this case and bringing the killer to justice. The phone numbers are on the screen now. Tips can be anonymous. Help bring peace to Katie and Bowie and their families. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Far From Fiction. I hope that you enjoyed. If you enjoy true crime documentaries, please consider subscribing as I make one each and every Wednesday. I also release some sort of content every single day on my channel that covers the darkest and spookiest stories. I'm currently on the road to 2,500 subscribers, and I'm trying to get there before the end of the year, and your support helps get this campfire a little bit closer to that goal. Also, as previously stated, my new horror anthology book, The Hollow Season, is out now on Amazon. If you're a fan of horror, dark storytelling, and spooky vibes, please consider picking up a copy today with a link in my bio. Also, if you have a Kindle Unlimited subscription, it's absolutely free to read it. But that is going to do it for today. Remember to stay safe, stay vigilant, because even the most routine task can lead to a terror that no one is ready for. As always, thank you for spending a little bit of your evening here with me.